All right, so former SWAC Player of the Year signs with the Detroit Pistons. Former Texas Southern star and SWAC Player of the Year Zach Lawson has signed with the Detroit Pistons. Lawson announced the signing on his Instagram page on Saturday. And he got a Detroit shirt, a black Detroit shirt, a Nike shirt. And on Instagram he said, "First off, love you, Mom. Shoot. But I just want to thank Detroit Pistons for believing in me. They gave me an amazing opportunity to sign my first pro contract. Quickadale Prep, San Jacinto, Illinois State, Minnesota, Texas Southern, New Mexico State, NBA. I'm here to let you know that I can make it no matter what the circumstances are, and people change. Praise to the Almighty. Hashtag 651, hashtag nation. Yeah." Lawson, who played at New Mexico State last season, was a graduate transfer, played for Detroit in last month's Las Vegas Summer League. I want to thank the Detroit Pistons for the amazing opportunity to be a part of the organization, like I said in the news release. I also want to thank the amazing support system I've had through the years. I'm excited to start this new chapter. Lawson averaged 19.3 minutes per game in 6 games to average 10 points and 2.5 rebounds. In the final Summer League game against the Los Angeles Lakers, he dropped 21 points on 9 of 17 shooting. Lawson was the first team All-WAC selection last season. He was the SWAC Player of the Year at Texas Southern in 2016-2017. So, one time for Mr. Lofton. One time for Zach. So Zach finna go play for the Pistons after playing with Detroit in their summer league and after doing what he did in the SWAC and the WAC and playing all that out. So one time for Zach Lofton, and as you know from the Freedom Train and the Big Sports Podcast and my hood, your hood to the man, the little shirt, go ahead and get around the top. Zachary. I wonder if he related to Kenny Lofton or James Lofton. I don't know. But one time for Zach, man, go ahead and pursue your NBA dreams, bro. Hey, don't ever give up on your dreams, dog. Our weekly rant is aimed at DJ Durkin, who has been placed on leave amid Jordan McNair's death and investigation at the University of Maryland. So, on a Bleacher Report, DJ Durkin, right. So, Maryland head football coach DJ Durkin has been placed on administrative leave by the university while it investigates allegations of a toxic culture exposed in the ESPN report. Athletic Director Damon Evans announced offensive coordinator Matt Canada will take over as the program's coach during the investigation. "We must do better and we must rebuild a culture of respect for our football program," Evans' statement read. The ESPN report described allegedly awful training conditions for players who were coached in an environment based on fear and intimidation. Strength and conditioning coach Rick Court was named as the most frequent aggressor, though the coach as a whole was described as toxic. You have to be careful what you send your kids into. The report says players were subject to verbal and physical abuse, including one player describing the incident where he was forced to eat until he found it. They had to whoop my ass. Players who were unable to complete weight training were belittled with epithets, and the player was allegedly mocked after passing out during a conditioning drill. The language is profane and it's demeaning at times, a former team employee said. When you're characterizing people in such derogatory and demeaning terms, particularly if they don't have a skill level you think they need to aspire to, or they may never get, then it's rough to watch and see, because if it was your own son, you wouldn't want anybody talking to your son that way. Offensive lineman Jordan McNair died at the age of 19 after collapsing during an off-season workout in May. Heather Dennis of ESPN reported McNair died of a heat stroke after his body reached 106 degrees. Our reading of the medical records and the 911 call Maryland made to the EMT to come to the field revealed that 45 minutes into the practice, he had convulsions and a seizure on the field. An attorney representing McNair's family said, and the 911 calls reflect emergency personnel noted McNair had experienced the season. Hey, man, you got to be careful who the fuck you sending your kids to. You got to be careful, man. Some of these coaches, they think that because that's the way that they were coached, that's how you're still supposed to coach. So DJ Durkin, he a dumb fuck, and he probably shouldn't be coaching any fucking more. And while somebody had to die but that's where it is with football coaching. I keep telling y'all, that's where it is with football coaching. Like, literally, sometimes people got to die for toxic culture to change. Motherfuckers ain't just smart enough to understand that this shit is toxic. Maybe we shouldn't do this shit. Maybe this may have an ill effect on the motherfuckers that we dealing with. Maybe, but no, not in DJ Durkin school. Not at you. And first of all, the University of Maryland ain't fucking good enough in football to be cursing kids out, to be demeaning people, to be physically and verbally abusive. Maryland ain't fucking good enough to be doing that. That's first of all. So DJ Durkin should be fired just on the terms of him thinking that his program is good enough for him to demean anybody. Hell, you should be demeaning yourself for how garbage your program has been over the last couple of years, right? But second of all, a motherfucker had to die. Somebody had to die. A player had to die for all of this to be investigated, for somebody to speak up and say something different. Somebody had to die. Man, y'all crazy as hell, man. I would snatch my child out of that school immediately. The University of Maryland should suffer in recruiting. DJ Durkin need to have his ass whooped, and all the other coaches, and the strength and conditioning coach, and all the other coaches who came to that toxic. Man, you're supposed to take your stand. Somebody should have took a stand. Some adult around us should have took a fucking stand. The whole university and everybody's to blame. Everybody's to blame. Somebody should have been checking in and looking and paying attention to what's going on. You are academic of higher learning, and you have students. You have people who are under the age of 21 in your care. You got people whose brains haven't been fully developed in your care. I keep telling you, parents, don't depend on football and sports to save your family. If your child wants to play football, fine, but teach your child how to be able to use their minds. So if they're ever confronted with, or if they're ever been put in a position to where they feel like they have to choose some common sense shit over some football, they can choose some common sense shit because you set them up to be able to take care of themselves life after football. Start preparing your kids to use their goddamn brains now. Football won't last long. Sports won't last long. Their brains will. Their intelligence will. The knowledge that they have, it will last long. The skill sets that they have will last long. The know-how will last long. Not these fucking athletic shit. The best thing football and sports going to teach them is teamwork. And teamwork don't get your fucking bills paid. Skill sets get your goddamn bills paid. Not no fucking teamwork. That's the most you're going to learn from sports. It's fucking teamwork. And how to say yes or no, sir, and to be programmed and not think for yourself. That's the biggest thing about these colleges and things. That's why these kids be so caught up in these things, because over the years, these kids have been so poorly conditioned to not think for themselves. Critical thinking is not welcome in sports, but critical thinking is welcome in life. It needs to be welcomed in life, because that's how you can get your child to make a decision to not sit at a fucking table and eat till he throw up. Whoop my ass. Y'all gonna have to whoop my ass, because I ain't finna sit and eat till I throw up. Whoop my ass and make me eat till I throw up. The University of Maryland ain't good enough. University of Maryland was garbage when it was in the ACC, and the University of Maryland is garbage now in the Big Ten. So how the hell do you come off thinking that y'all could be a program who really is conducting business like this? Allegedly. Allegedly. All of this happened allegedly. So just in case all of this did happen, I'm going off on DJ Durkin and the University of Maryland. No, fuck us up there. For the alleged incidences that happened, right? Man, I would snatch my goddamn child out that institution so fast. Man, you better transfer. You better take your ass to a HBCU. Matter of fact, why your ass ain't go to no HBCU in the first place? All the black players from Maryland transfer and go to HBCU. Go to Maryland Eastern Shore or Morgan State or shit. Come on down to FAMU. Come on down to FAMU, be winners. You know what I'm talking about? But hell nah, man. But see, our community, the black community, we lean on sports so much. People from poor conditions often lean on sports so much because they really don't know that better. Like me, I come from poor conditions, not like horrible poor, but I come from poverty. I come from the hood. I come from poor conditions. Even though both my parents went to college, I still had no idea of what all life had to offer. I mean, I knew I was supposed to go to college, but I had no idea what I wanted to do to college. I had no idea half the majors that colleges were offering. I went on one college tour. That was like 9th grade. Went to Emory University and a bunch of other schools who I never believed I had the self-esteem to get into. So I, like a lot of other people, thought football was my key out, not knowing that my brain was going to take me farther than football ever would. And my brain right now is taking me farther than football ever would. My brain is taking me across the world. So we got to start understanding that in our community. If you develop your child mentally, that will take your child further, and your child will make more money off their brain and their abilities than they will off of football. So fuck DJ Durkin, fuck the University of Maryland, fuck all them other people, the strength and conditioning coach and all the other fuck boys and fuck tars and bitches who at the University of Maryland who allegedly subjected their athletes to those horrible, horrible conditions with that garbage ass program. Wow. All these motherfucking schools under investigation. Ain't this a bitch? It's toxic culture. Football culture is toxic culture. Trust me.